chat. He says, can you cut the Kick stream entirely? Kick chat sucks. They don't deserve anything. So Red Eyes definitely has a vendetta against Kick chat. I've definitely noticed that. Red Eye says stuff like this all the time. Listen, here's the deal. Here's my philosophy right now, okay? Let's see if you guys can follow me on this, if this makes sense to you. I have dual stream, right? We've got the stream on YouTube and the stream on Kick. The stream on YouTube, for the most part, are the longtime viewers, the longtime followers, people that have been with me for, ages. DSP Gaming on YouTube has been around since 2010, so you're talking a 15-plus year legacy. And people who were there are looking for definitely a way more chill time, right? They want to relax. They want to have order. They don't want to have rampant trolling or anything like that. They just want to relax and chill and enjoy the content and interact with me. The Kick side of things has only been around for a year, right? I started streaming on Kick I want to say October. And being that it's only been around for a year, it's mostly newcomers. A lot of the people who are on Kick, let's be honest, they're holdouts from Kino Casino who were watching me as a result of me working with them. But now I don't work with them anymore. I guess I'll restart the computer here. We'll restart it and get the drivers working. I don't work with them anymore. So let's be honest, there's some bad blood. Not on my behalf. I really don't give a shit. But I think that a lot of their viewers, because they constantly talk about me, have this vitriol towards me, right? And so they come and they troll and they say stupid shit. They come in with 1 million sock accounts. They get banned. They come back again. And, here's the thing. Both chats have a purpose. Okay? To be honest here, both chats have a purpose. Old Phil would have said, I only need the YouTube chat. I only want the chat that kisses my butt 24/7. That's very nice to me. Modern Phil realizes that in the landscape of content creation, there needs to be that give and take that you can actually balance with. It's kind of yin and yang, is it not? Where you can have the positive and the negative, and you can learn a way to walk that tightrope between them and balance them so that they work. By having Kick Chat open and knowing that we're going to have people on Kick Chat that are always going to kind of be either middle balancers or even leaning towards not liking me, it allows there to be a place where that can be okay and separate from the YouTube chat. Do you understand? Like, I think what used to be was I only had one chat. Therefore, the troll element would try to come in and permeate the chat that was basically for the longtime viewers, and it didn't work because it was very frustrating. It was two different kinds of groups of people batting heads like this, and that's not going to work. By having both available, both the YouTube and the Kick chats, and knowing that they are separate audiences, right? That's okay. And I think it actually works better that way. If people are going to troll me, I'd much rather have them do it over on the Kick chat. You understand? Like, I think that's a better place. It separates and people can chill and relax and not have to worry about, oh no, now I'm in, I'm on this chat. Now we can't talk because now trolls are coming in and saying dumb stuff and taking it over. Now, at the same time, you do have to understand that I do have to maintain some semblance of order. Kick chat can't be insanely unruly, and it can't be like doing horrible things that aren't allowed anywhere. It can't be racist stuff, sexist stuff, doxing. That stuff can't exist anywhere. It's just not allowed. All right. But I get it that that's kind of Kick chat's role, and it works. I mean, I've been streaming on Kick for a year, and I actually feel that things have gotten better for me, partially because now I co-stream on Kick and I have that element there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, instead of being Mr. How dare you criticize me? How dare you razz me? How dare you make fun of me? How dare you say toxic things about me? They say, well, there's a place for it, and that's okay. I think it works better. Maybe you disagree, but I think that it works better to have both. Okay? And to be honest, things are a lot better for me now. Since I've had Kick streaming, co-streaming for a year, financially, I do make some good extra money on Kick. Absolutely. I wouldn't co-stream if that weren't the case. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, because someone just said, the blimp just said, well, we're not all trolls over here. I understand that. Totally, I understand that. I know that there are actual fans and viewers and supporters on Kick. The thing is, just not as many as YouTube. There's probably, in general, On an average day, I get, what, 80 viewers on Kick, something like that? Probably out of the 80 viewers, 20 to 30 are legit supporters, and like 50 plus are trolls. I know that. Why do you think that we have a small amount of people who actually support me on Kick? And you know who you are, regulars, but also people who just drop by every once in a while and will drop a few subs or drop some kicks. There's not a ton of them, but the viewership I get on Kick being in the partner program and the few people who do support the streams, it's enough to offset the fact that there's a toxic element there. Again, there has to be some semblance of order. It can't just be chaos and people doing whatever they want and hurting each other and stuff like that. But I think you get it, right? Like, there's a place for both. Old school Phil would have been like, how dare you ever say anything negative about me, and would have been slamming that chat and shutting it down and constantly moderating. And if you've noticed, I don't really do that. I don't. I think that it's good to have the separation of the two audiences. That's okay. There's more of the people who like me and watch me for that. That's the YouTube audience. People who ironically watch me and make fun of me. That's the Kick audience. But it's still an audience. It's still fine. If only I had had this realization over a decade ago with This Is How You Don't Play, I wouldn't have been in the situation that I'm in today with the rampant trolling and lol cow status. I think that's where it happened. I wasn't self-aware enough back then to understand that there's a place for this kind of stuff. As long as it's in a controlled environment and everyone's safe, it's fine. Instead, I completely revolted against it, and then the internet turned against me, and that's partially my fault. It's not all my fault, but it is a big chunk of my fault for the way that I behaved back then. Now I'm a very different guy. Okay. Thank you, supportive support, for 100 kicks and then another 100 kicks. Thank you so much for that. Let's get that on the leaderboard. Excuse me. Cool. Pokemon will start soon, but I want to chill with the audience first because I started late, and I'm not going to get a chance to do that unless we do it now. Harundum, how are you? Thank you, Harundum, for re-upping your membership. Good to see you this morning. I got a $1 tip. Someone says, Kick is nice. It's almost all the good stuff from Twitch without having to deal with that company. Did you know some woman sexually assaulted a man live on stream and only got a 1-week suspension, only to do it again to a minor and still hasn't been punished for that? Here's the thing. I have absolutely no evidence of what you're saying. I haven't seen it. I would believe it. Again, there's no reason to ever stream on Twitch whatsoever unless you're some kind of a weird deviant who wants to get away with that kind of behavior. Outside of that, the pay is less. The discoverability is less. It's a toxic environment. It's not run professionally in any way, shape, or form. I would never work there again. And no one who's a professional should work there. I mean, there's really one reason: greed. If you're over there and you're one of the bigger streamers and you're making money over there, it's greed. But morally, there's no reason anyone should ever stay on Kick whatsoever. It's completely awful. One of the worst places on the internet to be. I say that wholeheartedly. I would never go back there in any circumstance. They're a horrible, horrible place and horrible people that run it. Just complete scumbags. So, yeah, nothing to do with that. What's up, World Weather Authority? Good morning. How are you? JRW, thank you for 34 months as a member. I don't know what your message is, though. ED6 is now dead, or 2028 or 2030, do think still. Huh? What is ED6? If you could explain what ED6 is, maybe I could comment. I don't know what ED6 is. See, no one knows. Someone says Elder Scrolls 6. Someone says GTA 6. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. Skyrim. Oh, so do I think that the next Elder Scrolls is dead? I don't know. Todd Howard said, "Oh, we're not. We're really working on it right now." I'm serious. He said that they interviewed him. He's like, yeah, we were not really too far along. We're not really doing anything with it. You announced it 7 years ago. You fucking idiot. And he has nothing to say, nothing to show, nothing. He's a moron. Like, his company, can we be honest? Bethesda has gone the route of live service like everyone else. They found that making a live service game is absolutely minimum effort for maximum profits. That's why they have Elder Scrolls Online. That's why they have Fallout 76. And that's why they focus on those games solely and don't really make anything else. They don't want to actually put effort in, but they want to milk a very stupid, gullible audience who keep handing them money for nothing. So that's what they've done. It's exactly the same thing with GTA Online. It's exactly the same thing with all these games with microtransactions. They have found the winning formula to abuse the customer base who can't help themselves for spending money for nothing. So, Elder Scrolls 6, is it ever going to come out? I wouldn't be surprised if it never does. I'm serious. I wouldn't be surprised if it never, ever actually releases. That they just give up on it and never. If they've done nothing on it in 7 years, they're not actively working on it. They don't give a shit. Jade says, so you just didn't see Sting there? Okay. All right, gotcha. Sting! Elder Scrolls Online isn't developed by Bethesda, but why does Bethesda push it every single time that they do any kind of a presentation? They're talking about Elder Scrolls Online content. What are you talking about? If it's completely outsourced, why would they constantly be pushing it and having updates and everything? Their resources are going into it. Okay? It's all the same company. Where did I get this sweater? Probably 2-3 years ago. I got it at one of the secondhand reseller stores or whatever.